This is WCBG broadcasting from Wagner College in Staten Island, New York. WCBG, small college, big voice. Hi everyone, I'm Jeanine, and I have a very special guest with me here today. I have Christo from the band Bad Sons. Christo is the lead singer and he plays guitar. So please stay tuned for this amazing interview.
Hi there, how are you? This is Christo.
Hi, this is Jeanine.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to me. I know, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Absolutely, no problem. I'm on my drive over to the studio right now, so it's perfect time.
Oh, awesome. That's pretty cool. My friend Katie actually introduced me to your band, and I was blown away by your new album. I thought it was fantastic. I love the layering and with this care that went into the production of your tracks, which is amazing.
Thanks so much.
Oh, no problem. It was really, really interesting and super cool, and I don't know, it's just a really great album. I was wondering what your writing process was like for it.
Yeah, this one, we started writing about towards the end of, I guess while we were touring our second album, Disappear Here. In between tours, there were a couple of songs from the record that were written in that period, but during that time mainly, it was just kind of a lot of exercises and jamming with one another. And then once we finished touring that album is when we kind of really got serious about, making the record, I suppose, and kind of looking it into the eyes and going from there. And a lot of those songs came out in the period of that year, like between November 2017 and the summer, I'd say July 2018. And so in that time, we were living together in a house in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles, nearby where we grew up, but we finally all just got together and we brought all of our equipment and sort of set up a studio in our living room. And most days were just kind of spent meeting up in the living room, working out musical ideas. We spent a lot of time in our bedrooms coming up with different things. There were a lot of trips that we took. I took a week out into the Hamptons in New York, and I kind of just went into a cabin and brought my guitar and a notebook and wrote a few songs which made it onto the record. And then, so really the way that the process tends to work is I'll come in with a demo that I've made either just on an acoustic guitar or on my laptop or something like that. I'll send all these ideas around to the guys, and then we'll figure out which ideas are sort of speaking to us, and then from there we kind of get together and we'll sort of bring the song to life, and we'll kind of take it to where you hear it on the record. These are usually little, like I said, just little tiny recordings, and then other times we just get into a room together, we take the time, and we know that today's like a writing day, and on these days just something just tends to happen. There's something really cool that happens when the four of us get into a room and we're all kind of feeling the same wavelength. And it was a really good time.
I love the collaboration between you guys. You can definitely tell like there are certain aspects where one member brought it forward and it showcases each of you in a great way. So I was also wondering, what is your favorite lyric that you've ever written?
Oh, that's really hard to say. I don't know if I have just one because it hasn't jumped out at me. There are a few though. There are times when we'll be playing the song live, for instance, or I might just hear a song. Like sometimes I'll just hear it if I'm like out wherever, and sometimes a line will jump out at me and I'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool, or I'm stoked about that. So I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you.
No, it's definitely an interesting question. I feel like it's very hard for a lot of artists to answer because, like, you are all proud of your work and what you produce. So it's difficult to think about.
I think it just comes down to whichever, I'd say I'm proud of them as a whole, and it really comes down to the person that's listening and how it speaks to them and relates to their situation. I think those are, like my favorite lyrics tend to be the ones that just hit me and that I just completely understand. It's almost kind of like, my favorite lyrics tend to be the ones where I feel like it's what I've been thinking, but I just hadn't heard somebody else say it. And it's like, I already knew what this person was saying, but having that kind of reaffirmation is kind of like, that's just a crazy feeling. And that's sort of where that's where the title Mystic Truth came from.
Oh, wow.
It's taken from this quote. It's by this artist. It's called The True Artist Helps the World by Revealing Mystic Truth. And it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time, what he's trying to say there is essentially that. And so that was something that inspired the album a lot.
That's super deep. I love the inspiration for that, and it definitely comes across in the work you've produced. And I've also noticed that you guys are from LA. Well, I'm from New York, so it's very different environment-wise. Here, I was wondering if there was I was wondering if there's a local scene in LA that inspired you, or just growing up there, if there were certain aspects that really kind of slipped into your music.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that for us, we're from Los Angeles, but we're like kind of just on the outskirts, like in the San Fernando Valley. Mm-hmm. And so I think that it's really close, but at the same time there is that separation. And I think that I think what we were kind of doing was almost sort of a reaction to what we were seeing in Hollywood, because especially around the time when we were coming up and playing music, it just seemed like what was happening over there just wasn't making a lot of sense to us. I think that the shadow of the Sunset Strip and like the heyday of the 80s has kind of been lingering over that area, like the Sunset Strip, pretty much for the decades since. Maybe recently it's starting to change a little bit, but definitely when we were teenagers making a band, it definitely felt a bit outdated and like nothing that we really wanted a part of. So in our neck of the woods is where we found a bunch of friends and people who kind of had mutual interests in different types of music than what was happening in other places. And from that, there was like a large pool of like bands that really came from that kind of scene. It was like us, and then our friends in Honey. Like we all lived in houses like together and really nearby one another, and went to school one another. And yeah, you had like us and the band Honey and the band The Neighborhood, and just a lot of different music happening. This was probably like going back like 8 years ago or something.
Oh, wow. I never even realized that, because at least like over here it's kind of hard to find like a local scene in a sense. And it's definitely interesting to see like how different bands develop in different areas. So
yeah, absolutely.
Could you describe your sound for me in 3 words?
Really effing cool.
Cute.
I'm not sure. I think I stand by that answer. That's what I think it is.
That's cute. I feel like it's a hard question for people to answer, because what 3 words do you think best defines you? And hey, it works. Definitely does.
That's me in a nutshell.
So one of our social media director, Grace, has been asking this question to everyone, and I love hearing everyone's answers to this, and I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay,
ready? What do you think of when an artist passes away? Should their music be released, or should it remain unreleased? Like albums.
You're talking about like this?
Yeah.
The things in the vaults that no one's heard before?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure on what I think is necessarily the right thing. I would say in my case, I would want just everything out there, because why not? Especially at that point in time. And as a fan, I would like to hear. I would say the same thing, because it's like the only other argument I could see against that is that maybe it's like some of these things are like shoddy demos, or they don't represent the vision that the artist might have had in their head, or they don't fully get across what they were trying to execute. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think that stuff is kind of fascinating to see, especially if we're talking about in hindsight after the artist has already passed and kind of like they've made their statements. You already know what it was that they wanted to get out there. I say, yeah, just let us hear the rest of it.
I love that.
I want to know what else was going on. Yeah.
I love that. And I feel like it's such a controversial question, because you never know what people are going to say, or if they would even be proud of the work that was unreleased. But at the same time, as a fan, you want to know more.
Yeah, it doesn't. They don't have to all be like bops, but it's like I think it's just fascinating.
Mm-hmm. So on that note, if you could record with any artists that are alive, who would it be?
That's really hard to say.
It could be more than one.
I don't know. For some reason, I'm just gonna kind of a random answer. For some reason, I feel like being in the studio with Dave Grohl would be really fun. Like, that guy's been in so many different bands and been a part of so many different cool projects. I feel like the idea of getting into a studio and just making some kind of crazy music with Dave Grohl, that was probably definitely a childhood dream of mine. So I'll go with that, since that was the first thing that came to me.
That's sick.
Otherwise, I'd say Robert Smith of The Cure I would love to collaborate with.
Oh, lit. Those are great people to pick. And I feel like you've thought about this before.
You know, maybe I have.
Okay. If you could change one thing about the music industry, what would it be?
I think the only way that we really feel that we can affect the music industry is simply by injecting our music into it. So I think we're just going to keep doing that, and that's been something that we've had a lot of fun doing now for the past couple of years.
What's your favorite venue that you've played at?
Probably the Wiltern in Los Angeles earlier this year. That's a place that we've been going to for a long time. I've seen some of my heroes in there. Like I've seen Sting perform there, and I just remember seeing so many great shows and growing up. So that was a really cool place to play, and that was probably my favorite show we've done, maybe ever. One of them.
Oh, wow.
For sure.
What is your band's goals for the future?
You know, right now we're just kind of really focused on making new music, and we're kind of coming off of a year of touring and promoting this album to being really inspired to just create new music. So I'd say our goal right now is to have like just some material ready to go as soon as we possibly can in the new year and not keep people waiting. There was kind of a gap between our last two albums, and we released one single in between, the year in between, a song called This Was a Home Once. But this time around, I'm hoping things don't have to take so long. We're kind of like, we're still riding the same momentum from last year. Feels good.
It's always good. It's always good to, at least as a fan, to hear new things come out, and even if it's just like a re-recording of something earlier, it's just nice to hear that there's a different touch on it every time it's performed. And even like live performances, hearing the differences between studio and live is also super fascinating to me, because like you guys can have more liberty to just like have fun in a sense, like with certain things, if that makes any sense at all. But
yeah, completely. That's really cool.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. And
absolutely, no problem. Thank you for taking the time.
Of course. I was super hyped to see that we can make this work, because it's very interesting to just, I don't know, hear from artists like I listen to and are like inspiring and relatable. To even want to talk to a college on Staten Island is super, super cool and amazing. So
yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. And did I read correctly that in the email that this school was the set for the School of Rock movie?
Yes, it was. Main Hall, which is our classroom building, was the building where they filmed for Horror Screen Prep School. So like all the outside shots for School of Rock were filmed on our campus. And they're actually filming.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's like one of the things that we're kind of known for. And actually, like yesterday, they were filming Bull here, so that was kind of cool too.
Okay.
So like
that's really cool. Yeah.
My roommate and I are in a shot that they filmed in our stadium our freshman year, because they were like, have Wagner students come on the campus and be in this shot as an extra. So we're in the TV show.
That's amazing. Well, that's really cool. Yeah, to type School of Rock, that was actually the first movie I saw where I realized that, because I was so young at the time, I realized that you didn't have to be an adult to play a guitar. And so that was the reason why I started playing guitar so young. So that's a cool connection there.
That's amazing. I love hearing that. I feel like that's kind of why I put this in the email, because a lot of people don't know it was filmed here, and we're kind of like this small college, and as I said, like kind of in the middle of nowhere, but also in the city. And just to hear like it inspired you to play guitar is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, great. Well, yeah, thanks so much again, and I hope you have a great rest of the day, and it was awesome talking to you.
You too. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you for listening to today's interview.
Bye.
That was Christo from the band Bad Sons. Please take a listen to their latest album, Mystic Truth, available on all streaming platforms. And stay tuned for our staff picks.
Hello, my name is Renata Pastuzak. I am the program director of WCBG, and my favorite Bad Sons song is Cardiac Arrest.
I've been trying to keep
Hi everyone, I'm Jeanine and I'm the station manager of WCBG, and my favorite Bad Son song is Separate Seas. Take a listen.
A train bleeds through apartment walls. Your eyes are wide as I recall. Tonight, no chance for sleep. Homesick lovers locked out of a dream. Yeah. Leave the speaker on and stay with me. I want every breath you breathe. Swim in separate seas. This world has brought me to my knees. Leave the speaker on and stay. Stay forever, say whatever words you have to say. Stay forever, stay whatever weather comes our way. In the morning, in the evening, if I'm leaving, my love's here to stay forever. I caught a plane to Miami to catch a glimpse of you and me. A California sun sinks into the sea, emerges free to the east. Leave the speaker on and stay with me. I want every breath you breathe. Swim in separate seas. This world has brought me to my knees. Leave the speaker on and stay. Stay forever, say whatever words you have to say. Stay forever, stay whatever weather comes our way. In the morning, in the evening, if I'm leaving, my love's here to stay forever. I'll find my way, I'll find the place, I'll find the time. I'll climb my way to your embrace in peace of mind. Leave the speaker on and stay with me. I want every breath you breathe. Swim in separate seas. This world has brought me to my knees. Leave the speaker on and stay. Stay forever, say whatever words you have to say. Stay forever, stay whatever weather comes our way. In the morning, in the evening, if I'm leaving, my love's here to stay forever. Stay forever, say whatever words you have to say. Stay forever, stay whatever weather comes our way. I'll find my way, I'll find the place, I'll find the time. I'll climb my way to your embrace in peace of mind.
Hey, my name is Katie, and my favorite Bad Son song is Howling at the Sun.
I took myself for granted, got up to speed. Above these dreams I planted, we can fly so much faster than we run. Howling at the sun, invisible until I want to be. I'm miserable on a beautiful day. A storm's out, you know I'm right below your window. Storm's out, you know I'm right below your window. Got what I need. I took myself for granted, got up to speed. Above these dreams I planted, we can fly so much faster than we run. Howling at the sun. Woo, oh, woo, oh. So spiritual you used to be, so cynical in every obvious way. Storms out, you know I'm right below your window. Storms out, you know I'm right below your window. Oh my, it all goes by something that you said last I'm right below your window. Got what I need. I took myself for granted. Caught up to speed. Above these dreams I planted. We can fly so much faster than we run. Howling at the sun. Woo, oh. Woo, oh. Woo,
Hi, my name is Brandon, and my favorite Bad Son song is Disappear Here.
Now you say, I see your face every turn I make. I find no comfort there. And I hear your voice with every mistake. It's like you're always here. I'm right, I'm wrong. I'm everything but sure. So we fight until dawn. When 5 words walk out the door. Would you run? I've stood here once before. Would you run up to me? Would you run or do we disappear? Disappear here. Would you run up to me? Would you run or do we disappear here? I've stood